Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am your host, GI Wingnut, or as I've introduced lately, my name is Jerry and I left MAGA. So, as a MAGA live streamer, um, I utilized a lot of right wing outlets. So, what I've decided I'm going to do is the episodes that I'm posting that are numbered are actually research pieces that I'm putting together to write a book with. The other videos that I'm going to be posting will be tagged with something like what I saw from MAGA or what I saw in MAGA. I haven't exactly figured that out yet. But what I want to do is go ahead and address some of the information that I was utilizing, some of the stuff that I was consuming while I was in MAGA. I've got several tabs to go through. I've got several things to look at. I'm even going to introduce a couple of topics, I think. Stuff that I can use for opening up further conversations in the future. One of the main outlets that I utilized is this place called Gateway Pundit. And as you can see up here, there's this whole Rhino Watch thing going on here. We got Gateway Hispanic. But some of the headlines they run, like Tom Homan shreds CBS News narrative, or I haven't looked at any of these articles. I haven't looked at this outlet in quite some time because it's nothing but propaganda. Let's see. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem reveals what ICE agents told the leftist agitator who tried to run over an agent before a deadly self-defense shooting. So that's a bunch of hokum there, as you can see. Moving right along, I also leaned quite heavily into Fox News. I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time on that. I think pretty much everybody knows that the faux news outlet is a right-wing media arm for their propaganda outlets. 100% Fed Up was another outlet that I used quite frequently. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Schreier refuses to reveal who is behind the large-scale anti-ICE protests. It's Americans who are sick and tired of this nonsense. Just recently, like, what was it? I think it was January 7th, 2026, there was a mother who was shot and killed by ICE. Anyway, you can see here, just some serious propaganda here. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh yeah, the National File. Huh. Yeah, this was a real special outlet. Candace Owens, States Man of Steel, surgeon quoted as calculated lie. What? Yeah, you can see stablecoin, Bitcoin. They love their crypto. I still have these cats trying to sell me crypto, and I'm like, yeah, but all you got to do is turn off the electron flow, turn off the power, and you can't access your money. At least with paper fiat currency, you still have it spendable as long as it's still acceptable. Also, VT, uncensored foreign policy. This was another thing that I leaned quite heavily into. And let's see, they're all about this whole skull and crossbones thing. DARPA is working to synthesize DNA with light, Luciferian. Yeah, a lot of fear mongering over here. So yeah, that's that one. Zero Hedge. This was another one of those hardcore alt-right outlets that I was using. Let's see. Superflu surging in 45 states. Doctor visits each 30 year. Yeah, anyway. Silver about to crash. Bunch of fear-mongering. Bunch of misinformation. Misinformation Central. InfoWars. If you don't know about InfoWars and Alex Jones, bless your heart. I'm kind of jealous. Anyway, yeah, you can see there's more fear mongering going here. Minnesota woman tried to run over ICE agents with her car before being shot. If you've seen the video, you know that's not how it played out. Right? We're looking through these right-wing outlets that I utilized back in the day. Less lethal home defense. Yeah, they love their firearms. Let's see. Health. Rebel News is out of Canada, and they also have a outlet in Australia. And I fell into these guys during the COVID thing. Let's see. Health Canada is silent as autism rates explode. Um, it's autism is not linked to vaccinations. The fact that we are seeing a growing number of diagnoses like autism is because the research into autism allows us to understand it better. And some of these neurodivergences are just part of being a human anyway. More nonsense. Now, I've seen several left wing outlets refer to Sky News, and I'm guessing that they weren't listening to Sky News back during COVID. I received a lot of propaganda from this place. It's just wild stuff. Lots of fear mongering. Lots of fear mongering. Let's see, what else did I have up next? Oh yeah, GB News, Great Britain News, or Britain's news channel. They run a lot of fear mongering. They do a lot of climate change denial over here. They were promoting a bunch of the COVID conspiracies. They're just hardcore. Because of the Russophilia within the MAGA ranks, Russia Today was not an uncommon resource for me to go to, especially during the early days of the Ukraine conflict. As I started doing my deconstruction and research, I realized and learned that at least as late as the 1990s, the KGB, or the FSB, was running operations through Russia Today as far as their propaganda work. It used to be, in accordance with the testimony of Yuri Bezmenov, it used to be that a KGB's agent's workload required 20% of their time at the beginning of the day to be spent on ideas of spinning propaganda. Pardon me. And then Russia Today would take that and spin it into their stories with about 80% of fact and about 20% of propaganda. It was up to the consumer to figure out what was what, which makes it difficult when you have a bunch of Russophiles running around supporting an orange guy. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Salty Cracker, and this guy was a gaming streamer turned alt-right content creator, and this guy right here was singularly responsible for me getting eyes on MAGA during COVID. That's when I fell off into the rabbit hole the deepest. Trigonometry is a YouTube channel that I used to watch a lot. There's a character on here, or that works with these guys, that goes by the handle of Sargon Akkad, or Sargon of Akkad, and I heard him actually tell this guy right here, Andrew Gold, that he's as far right as it gets. That was my cat that just drifted by. Jimmy over at Bright Insight was really fantastic at spreading a lot of conspiracy theories and dumbassery because of individuals like Uncharted X, this group right here, and do a lot of pseudoscience and alt history. And they're inspired by this cat right here, Mr. Graham Hancock. Something else, and this is what I'm going to close out with, something else that we used to like to talk a lot about were these DUMBs, these deep underground military bases, and I used this map quite a few times. I'll dive into that in another video, but for now, that's just really what I wanted to share with you folks, because I'm trying to make amends for all the stuff that I did. I helped promote a lot of propaganda, and I feel like it's my responsibility to help explain some of this propaganda that I was promoting, some of this information that I was utilizing, and some of the conversations that I got into. Sitting on MAGA live stream panels, got into some really interesting conversations. Young Earth creationists versus flat Earthers versus globe Earthers versus old Earth creationists versus Big Bang believers. It was really quite the conversation, and that's something I'm going to dive into at some point. Anyway, do me a favor if you've made it to the end of the video. Go ahead and drop a blue heart, if you would. Don't be afraid to comment. If you've got any questions, I'll try to address them as best and efficiently as I possibly can. Please feel free to share this information with individuals that you might think could benefit from it. But yeah, I just wanted to cover some of the stuff that I did in my experience as a MAGA streamer and as a Trump supporter. I've got a lot to tell. I've got so much to tell. Actually, I've got an episode planned coming up talking about the whole transgender thing. And that one's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, get plenty of fluids, get plenty of rest, and find people that like doing good things. That's the community that you probably would most benefit from. Seriously. Do what you love. Love the people that you can do it with, as long as you're not hurting anybody without consent. All right. Until the next video, check you later.